Hey there everybody, this is Lee with Creative Two-Time Mom, and in this video I'm going to share with you how we're celebrating our last day of homeschool. So I am here in my homeschool space, which is otherwise known as my dining room table, and I want to share with you some of the things that we do to celebrate our last day of homeschool every year. Now this video is part of a collab which is hosted by the YouTube Mommy Meetup. There's a playlist this month which is all about teacher appreciation gifts, last day of school ideas, and I want to share with you, since we are a homeschool family, how we mark the end of our homeschool year, what we do to make that last day special. I feel like as homeschoolers it would be so easy to just continue on and just have a regular normal day, but for me I need that break of the last day of school, and I feel like my kids do too. We are not year-round homeschoolers. We homeschool with a charter, and so we follow their calendar, and we typically finish the last day of May or near the end of May, which is about a week ahead of the other public schools here in town, but we also start a week earlier in August. I want to say the fall, but August is not really fall. So we start a week earlier, we end a week earlier. And I like to have that definitive, this is our last day of school. So I have been on a hunt for the last 4 years how to really mark that day. These are some of the things that we do. I like to absolutely take last day of school photos. Now, just like every other family, we line up on the first day in August, and we line up on the last day in May, and we take last day of school photos of the kids, usually in the exact same spot. You would be surprised the difference just from August to May of the following year. I have been working on my kids' scrapbooks, their school scrapbooks, and I've been looking at those photos for the past several days, and it's amazing how much they can grow in that amount of time. So for me to take those last day photos, I love it. That's the first thing we do. A lot of times I will also make a special breakfast. We will sometimes go out for donuts. We will sometimes make monkey bread. Yes, super sugary, sweet, special last day of school breakfast. That's one of the things we do. So let me just take you throughout our day. We start with a special breakfast for the kids. We almost always have, either on the last day of school or near the last day of school, we have a final meeting with their supervising teacher. So we have to go in, hand in all of our library checkouts and all of our final grades for the year. And after we do that, I bring them home, I set them down, we clean out the garage. That sounds like a punishment, but here's the reward. We will take out all their consumable workbooks. So I don't have one in front of me. Any type of math workbook that they've done throughout the year, if they've done writing in a literature book, anything that is not textbook, that cannot be reused, that's been a consumable workbook, we rip the covers off of it because those cannot be recycled, and we take all of this paper and stuff that they have, and I just allow them to trash it. I like to take the covers off because I want to be able to recycle and be environmentally conscious, but I just let them just throw it away. It's like, we're done. This year has ended. We are starting with fresh slate kind of a thing. So that is one of our markers every year that we do after our teachers meeting. It's like this release of, you are done with third grade is gone. After that, because we are out of school a week early, I like to take the kids to a local children's museum. It is dead that whole week, which is awesome. We will go do that. I will pay for some of the extra stuff that we don't usually pay for, like our local museum will do a butterfly release, usually either at the end of May or beginning of June, and that costs a little bit extra. I might pay for that. We might pay to go feed the parrots, which we don't do every time. Some of the exhibits cost a little bit extra. I'm more willing to pay a little bit extra on that last day of school, so I will plan ahead of time what extra we are working into our budget for the museum that day. And then we pack a picnic lunch and we go straight from the museum over to either our local pool or our gym pool, whichever is open, because it's still early in the season. Sometimes one or the other won't be open. So we pack a picnic lunch and we go swimming. Again, the swimming pool is completely dead because everybody is still in school for one more week, and we like to have the pool entirely to ourselves. It's a great way to kick off the summer. It's absolutely a ton of fun for all of us, me included, because I only have my 3 kids and then there might be a couple other kids in the pool, but it's not super crowded like it will be later on, and so it's easier to keep track of them, and they just get the whole things to themselves, which is, I can't even tell you how much fun that is. So we go from the museum, we take a picnic lunch to the pool, we swim our guts out at the pool. It's a great way to start the summer swimming season. After that, it's usually time for my little guy to take a nap, so we will come home for him to take a nap, and I will set up some sort of STEM activity for my older kids. What we did last year was I handed them a bunch of dried spaghetti and marshmallows, and I said, hey, build the tallest structure you can, or build the biggest tent. At one point they had to do a pyramid type tent. I am researching a couple of STEM ideas and pinning them on my Pinterest board, which you can find the link down below, so that I have some fresh ideas. We have done the marshmallow spaghetti thing a couple years, and I think they're ready for a new challenge. So I have been pinning some STEM ideas of what I want to do this year to surprise them. I've also seen, which was a good idea, where somebody cut apples into small squares, like my marshmallows, and they used toothpicks, and they had to create whatever. We were at the science fair last night, and one of the projects was popsicle sticks to create the tallest structure. So I thought, well, that's a good one too if we choose to do that. So I am working on finding a STEM project for them. After that, it's usually a little bit of time. Mom needs a little bit of break. We've been to the museum now, we've been to the pool, we've done a project. I might play a couple of board games with them. Usually Yahtzee comes out or Sequence comes out, which is, again, great learning board games for them to keep their brains active. And then I need a little break, and one of the things that my kids have to do every day over the summer is read. So I will bring out the first reading challenge for them, which at this point Barnes & Noble is the only one that has theirs out at the end of May. So I'll bring out their Barnes & Noble and I will challenge them to do their reading and get their summer kicked off. And then I will probably either go lay down for a little while or do a little bit of reading myself. It's just a good time for us to all settle down, have a little bit of quiet time. After my little guy gets up, we always do pizza and a movie on Friday nights. And I try to, I think it's going to be a little bit hard this year because we still have some reading to do, but I try to get one of our read alouds done right around that last Friday. And the read aloud that we are doing right now is My Side of the Mountain. So our plan, we're about halfway through, we have 2 weeks or so to finish this up, and the movie is actually on Netflix. So I try to finish one of our read alouds right around that last Friday, and then we see if we can get the movie version of it. We've done that with Bedknobs and Broomsticks. We've done that with Pollyanna. Might be a little bit late to start a book this year, but that's what I try to do, is coincide that book with our final Friday movie night. And then the other thing I like to do is plan a special dessert. Yes, we've already had sugar in the morning. We're going to have sugar again. And maybe I will do like a sundae bar for the kids, or just something different that they don't typically get. I don't do a lot of desserts, usually once, maybe twice a month. So to be able to have a nice dessert, and I try to make it something that they can be involved in, either in helping me make it or in creating their own, like the sundaes after dinner that night. So that's the way we celebrate the final day of homeschool. I know some of you out there don't homeschool, and so some of the ideas I'm hoping you can transfer over, either a special dessert or a special breakfast. Some of the other things that we've done in the past is we've decorated the house. I will put streamers outside their bedroom doors, so that when they wake up in the morning, there's like this, it's more of like a party atmosphere, which I might do again this year. As they come through their bedroom door in the morning, there's all these streamers everywhere. I've also done a banner on the front door that says "Welcome to Summer," that you could easily adapt if you're not a homeschooler. The dessert idea obviously works really well the day after homeschool or the day after getting out of school. Take them to the pool, have a great big old water fight. We have done s'mores in the backyard on the final day of school. So I hope those give you some ideas of how to just welcome your kids to a new season, open up, like school is over, it's time for a new chapter for the next several months. I hope this inspires you. Leave me any comments down below of ideas that you have for celebrating the last day of school, whether you homeschool or your kids go to public school. I love new ideas and I love being inspired by you guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button before you click off, and we'll see you in our next video. See you later, guys.